Today is April 14th, time about 8:45 a.m. Getting ready to do our first float of the season on the lower salt. Today we have Joe, Ron, Jennifer, Ryan, and Tracy. And we're just launching here from Water Users. The flow 7 a.m. was just over 750 cubic feet per second. So our little rock here is well above the water. No significant debris stuck to it this year. We're just coming up on the primary tubers launch. It's like one kayak getting ready to go. So we're coming up on Snaggle Tooth Rapid, and this year or this spring we don't have all the eelgrass reaching up to the surface, so it makes it a much easier paddle getting started. So we are now approaching Snaggle Tooth Rapid, and we're going to see if it's actually a rapid this year. Sometimes it's an actual rapid, and sometimes the rocks that create the rapid are submerged. We'll see what we have. Looks like there's some riffles there. When I come through here, I like to just skirt along the edge of the eddy line, bypass the rocks. Yeah, they got a big one above the surface right there. A couple of them. Okay. I guess we can call this a rapid again. Now the boulders are back up. I can hear the red-winged blackbird there. And if you wanted to bypass Snaggle Tooth, you can go around that little island. Looks like there's just enough water to get through, although maybe a bit shallow. And then from the power lines here, where are you? From the power lines here, it's about 6/10 of a mile to the start of Bulldog Island. So you have the option there of going left or right around the island. Lower water, the right channel around Bulldog was getting pretty shallow. At 750, it might be more doable. So this is the start of Bulldog Island. We've just gone through this about a 6/10 of a mile long pool from those power lines that are just past Snaggle Tooth, and you have an opening here to the right which will take you to the right channel around Bulldog. Bulldog Island, and if you go to the left, that will take you to Pinball, otherwise known as Bulldog Rapid. So it's not terribly obvious until you get close, but if you see that break in the reeds, you know that's the right channel around Bulldog Island. And at 750 cubic feet per second, you probably have enough clearance to get over these initial rocks. At 300, you might be dragging a bit. So it is now about 9:25 a.m. Sunday morning, April 14th. We're just getting ready to run Bulldog Rapid, now more commonly known as Pinball. So we start out here on the left, and then we'll kind of go out a little more towards the center, but keep an eye out for rocks. Oh, we got some vehicles up there. So quite a bit of water on the right there, but still looks rocky and probably right into the trees. We're going to go far left here. Into a rock here. Shoot. I just missed it. Got more rocks there. Try to get back. Oh, bumped into one. There we go. So yeah, still a lot of rocks close to the surface. Just get ready to maneuver if you can, and figure I'm bumping into a few of them. Well, that's refreshing. Okay, let's see how they're doing. Let's see, don't see Tracy yet. I don't see Tracy yet.
Nobody tipped out back there, right?
What?
Nobody tipped out, right?
We're all upright. There comes Tracy. All right. All right. Well, that was refreshing. Get a little water in the face. Okay. Well, we're just getting ready to cross under Blue Point Bridge, and we will check out what the Devil's Elbow is like. Saw a number of inflatables getting ready to launch just upriver from here, and see a couple of paddle boards getting ready to launch here. Fly fishermen, a couple of them. Let's see if we can get out of their way. So we've crossed under the bridge and we're approaching the Devil's Elbow. Looks like the current still wants to push you up against the reeds here. Try to ferry away from the right bank a little. The other option is to go right into the eddy there and anticipate doing a fast eddy turn. lot of people now, if they're launching from the bridge, they're launching from the sheep crossing parking lot and then coming down to the river somewhere here and putting in, so they'll be below that little riffle. Here comes Ron and his family. Okay, Jennifer's going into the eddy there. Ron kind of skirted around. Ryan's riding the waves. And Tracy's trying not to crash into another kayak. But they're all upright. That's the important thing. All right. That gentleman's doing a spin around. All right, they're all upright. Okay. It looks like the boulder is still sticking up above the water here. So I'm going to try to get wave train just beyond that. And may have to duck under some reeds. Oh yeah, okay. Not really too much action there. Okay, Ryan's hitting the waves there, good. Oh yeah. So we're now approaching the spot where the dead tree had been hanging out into the river, creating a strainer. You kind of recognize this area because you have a split in the river, and behind these trees is the old bridge pylon that supported the sheep crossing bridge. And then there is a wall up here on the right bank, which we can't see from this perspective, but that created a funnel which, you know, got the sheep single file crossing that bridge. But I just read recently that somebody had come out with chainsaws and cut down the down tree that hung out into the river, creating a strainer, and from here we can see the cut branches. So sometimes in the summer this gets very shallow here. You can't always go around the little island, but I've seen a number of wild horses in this area in the past. So now it's quite a bit safer if you're hugging the right bank here, that you're not going to run into the downed tree. See where they've cut that. You still have some overhanging branches here. Look out for. then if you look around the other side of this island, you can just barely make out the old bridge pylon. Somebody has some spray paint on it. Let's see if I can get a better view of it. Yeah, there's a good flow coming through. But that's the old bridge pylon up there, a bit of concrete. And then there is a wall up there, or fence, that creates a funnel for the start of the sheep crossing bridge. So we're now approaching what some folks have named Foxtail, F-A-U-X-T-A-I-L. This comes up in the river before Foxtail, but Foxtail is characterized by these rocks. We'll be passing a big boulder to our left, and just beyond that you hit what some would describe as toilet bowl current. And when you hit that, if it feels uneasy for you, just keep paddling through it, so you're maintaining stability with your paddle on each side of your boat, or I don't know how that works with a paddle board. This rock coming up was the site of the Internet Bikini Contest, I think around 1997. Now the toilet bowl current, well, not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, years ago it did not have that kind of action there. Seemed a lot calmer, so I don't know what has changed in the river since then. But that can be a little unnerving to a beginning kayaker, or one in a narrow a boat that isn't quite as wide as the modern recreational kayaks. So we're approaching Foxtail. A couple up here on paddle boards rented their paddle boards from Saguaro Lake Ranch, and this is the usual takeout for Saguaro Lake Ranch rentals, unless you pay extra to go on to Fondy, Sutton. And this is typically shallow, so we'll see what we're going to bump over. It's not too bad today. After years of fighting the current here, decided the best option, well, hopefully not run into a paddle board, but if you just follow the swirl here, stay to the left of it, let the current take you, and just bear in mind you've got a submerged rock right here. And if you turn around at this point, you have a very scenic backdrop. You can get pictures of your friends in the foreground. So we still got some good shallow spots right here after Foxtail. And this is an area that has traditionally been shallow, although not quite that soon. And somewhere up here we used to have to cross more to the right before we get to the mud cliffs area, but it'd be interesting to see what the shallow spots look like now. doesn't look too bad. In the past, this had been quite shallow right here, and you did have to get over to the right. Now the shallow spot's further upstream.
Run to Ross for 20 to 60% off department store prices on the latest spring looks.
Nothing beats a mid-flight journey.
So approaching the Mud Cliffs area, still a popular spot for a lot of people to take a break if they don't mind being out in the sun. Not seeing any cliff divers today. So we've just passed the Mud Cliffs, and I recall there being shallow stretch here just below. So we'll see what it's like this year. I think last year I got over to the left too soon and hit some really shallow spots, so I'm going to stay a little more towards the center and then aim back towards the left. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So we've got shallow spots on either side of us from the looks of it. Oh yeah, that was good. So now this is a spot below Goldfield that's been traditionally shallow. Usually have to start out here on the left and then navigate back to the right. Doesn't look as bad this year as it has some years. Oh yeah, this isn't bad at all. Well, it is getting shallow, but still doable. Oh yeah, now we're getting shallow. Okay. Yeah, sometimes in the summer we will see groups of wild horses standing out on this shallow rocky area here on the left. Oh, Tracy is going to go way left. We'll see how she does. She has to walk. This is another spot. If you turn around, you get a very scenic view with the mountains in the background. And pretty soon we should be seeing the cliffs of Coon Bluff. So this still gets shallow here in the middle of the river channel as we're approaching Coon Bluff. We typically have a deeper channel to the left, possibly a deeper channel to the right, and then we're Likely to encounter more shallow stuff as we get closer to Coon Bluff. Right now this looks like it's only about 6 inches deep here. We'll head over to the left side and see what it looks like. Yeah, this is quite a bit deeper here on the left side of the river. So we're approaching Coon Bluff now. Surprising number of people choosing to go to the right here. I always like to go to the left. I think it's a little more interesting, but then again, some people prefer to just be among the trees and avoiding the picnic people. So we've had some shallow spots right here as we're going into the left channel. I know a lot of times in the summer you can't get through that right channel at all. It's just too shallow and muddy. But looks like they've got a pretty good flow approaching that. Yeah, it sounds like they're bumping over rocks there, but still going. So we built up a little gravel deposit here on the right, but looks more open than it had last summer. So not bad through here at all. Any squirrels in the rocks there. I'm not seeing any today. Quite often you'll see squirrels running in these boulders here, the rocks. So this is where they were cleaning up the stink net and cockleburrs and trash just a couple weeks back. So the obvious route at this point is to the right. We've got quite a gravel and rock buildup. You might be able to squeeze through there on the left, but then you're going to be going into an overhanging tree. We'll see if it gets any better further up here. No, that still looks pretty darn shallow, so I would just keep to the right here. Looks like somebody lost a tube up here. Now, if you're doing this in the nighttime, I would want to keep to the right, because you do have this overhanging branch. Extends quite a ways out into the river here. And then we still have the big rock and gravel buildup from last year. I did this as a nighttime float and got too far to the right here, so we were hitting some of this brush. Okay. And we'll see how folks are doing that came through on the right channel around this little island. Yep, we're still doing okay. We have our little concrete pyramid there, pretty much obscured by the reeds now. And we'll see if we have any rope hanging here. Yeah. Oh, got a little loop in the end of it. Challenge yourself, see if you can pull yourself and your boat out of the water. Yeah. Almost. Looks like somebody put some yellow spray paint there for some reason. Still more. Got some swallow nests. Joe has seen bats up there in the crack other times. So this spot past Coon Bluff had been getting fairly shallow last summer and doesn't look too bad right now. Looks like you just stay in the center here, you'll be doing fine. See how the apple snail eggs are doing this year. Seeing the pink clusters of eggs just yet. Well, that's good. Hopefully they don't come back too soon. So we're approaching our takeout at Fondy's Sutton. Oops. Rock here. It was getting shallow there in the middle of the river, but not terribly bad. But if you're not familiar with this area, quite often the takeout is easy to spot because of the pop-ups or the canopies. Unfortunately, sometimes they're exactly where you want to be pulling your boat or board out of the water. Got these reeds here on the left, and then our takeout will be right behind them. Later this summer the reeds might be more green, but this is also fairly shallow. So once I get to the end of the edge of these reeds, I usually make a hard right or left turn. But then I can see there's a pop-up right where I want to be. So try to squeeze between the paddle boards and the pop-up. See if I could do this without falling on a slick rock. Yeah. And then we got our fun hike up the hill there to Fondy Sutton parking lot. GoPro, stop recording.